Hey man, what it is, this is Deem and I am your host, and this is By Any Means. There go to PayPal at Deem by any means. There go to Cash App, $ Deem by any means. Y'all already know what I'm about to say. I don't care if you leave $5, $10, $1,000. Everything is much, much, much appreciated to all the people who be showing love. Hey y'all, I want to say, man, us as young black men and black women in America, we have been lied to our whole life. Nothing that you see, nothing that you hear is fully the truth, y'all. The only thing that's the truth is that you're not being told the truth. Let me talk about it. Now, we all know that OJ Simpson passed away, and I'm not about to sit up here and act like OJ Simpson was a saint by any means. Actually, I think OJ Simpson is one of the most Sambo-ish black men that walked this earth ever, to be honest. He didn't really want black people on his side until he went through what he went through. But just because he went through what he went through, and I think that he was a Sambo, does not mean that what was done to that man was justified, because it wasn't done to him because he was a Sambo or not. It was done to him because he was a black famous man that they wanted to pin a crime on. And that's the thing I'm here to discuss. You know, the same way they lied to us our whole life. Everybody listening to this, as a young black man or black woman, if you are listening to this, even if you're not black or consider yourself black, it still don't change the matter of how true what I'm about to say is. That Christopher Columbus discovered America, and me, my great great grandmother being full Native American, which I still consider they are black, because black is not your heritage or anything like that. Black is the skin pigmentation you have or features you have, because you could be a black person with no pigmentation in your skin. But for the most part, black is not the part of the world you was born in. Your race is not the part of the world you was born in. Your race is your skin complexion. No different than like Elon Musk being African, but he's a white boy. He could say he's African all he want. He's just a white boy that's from Africa. That's it. You know what I'm saying? When you trace his roots, he is not African. He just was born in Africa. If that makes any sense to the people out there. But I don't know if y'all have ever heard of a guy. Y'all know OJ Simpson's wife? Well, her wife, y'all, we all know that if you the glove don't fit, you must have quit. We all know about that. And it's something that I've recently came across from information, and I wasn't educated on. But I found out that Nicole Murphy, the woman that lost her life. I mean, Nicole, what was her name? Whatever. Her name was Nicole. Nicole something. I forget her name. Nicole something. And matter of fact, I ain't gonna do that. Nicole Simpson. Her handyman was a serial killer, y'all. Was y'all ever aware of this? That her handyman was a serial killer? I don't think that y'all know that y'all was aware of that. And remember when they said it wasn't no false entry or any of that? Her handyman was a known serial killer for years. I mean, they didn't notice until all of these things happened. But her case, we gonna get into this. It's a guy. Go look up right now. If you have never heard of this, go look up the guy. His name is Glenn Rogers. Glenn Edward Rogers, to be exact. The Casanova Killer. Y'all, did y'all know what he was known for? Doing. Did y'all know that what he was known for doing? He was known for taking blondes up off of this earth. Can somebody tell me what OJ Simpson's ex-wife was? Yeah, and he used to be the handyman for years. So it makes sense why the dogs and it didn't bark and it wasn't no false entry. Now, these are things you was never made aware of as the public. Did y'all know that OJ Simpson was on a flight to Chicago during the time, like, put it like this, OJ Simpson was on a flight to Chicago calling Nicole around the time that she would be, deceased. He talked to her prior to that. He was in the air, but since this was the 90s, they got the phone's record seal for some reasons, whatever it was back then, because they was making so much money of making OJ seem like he's the guy off the whole case. So it was never really in question if OJ was going to get off or not. It was the fact of how much money they made on the man. And why OJ ran with a lot of stuff, because people wanted him to be sad about a woman that was cheating on him. It's only so mad you could be about a woman that was cheating on you. But of course, he didn't want that to happen. But my thing is, you was never told about the Casanova killer. You was never told about that. And he's currently locked up, incarcerated, the whole nine. Like, all of this is public information now. But they sullied a black man name the same way that they ran with lies for years that Christopher Columbus discovered America, when my ancestors deemed my great grandmother and her parents and great grandparents was already here on this soil, my guy. Facts. And I'm not one of them black people that like to run around talking about I got Indian in my family. I hate that. But it don't change nothing nonetheless that my great grandmother married my great great grandfather, who was a war veteran from one of the first world wars, or Cold War, back in the 1800s and all of that stuff. Y'all, you hear what I'm talking about? Early 1900s and things like that. Okay, stay with me. Which had my great grandmother, which had my grandmother, which had my mother. If y'all understand, all of that. So these are the same things that we have been told and lied to in America about who we are as a people, who just what is true. We was told our whole life in history class that Christopher Columbus discovered America, and everybody knows that that is not true. How could you discover something when people was already here? That means it was already discovered. That's it makes no sense. How can you discover something where Native Americans was already here and it's known that they was already here? The same lie that we was told that all the slaves was brought from Africa to America. No, most of the slaves didn't even make it to America. That's something that people don't know. The first place they stopped was in the Caribbean, and half of the slaves died on the way over here. And most of them didn't make it actually to here. A lot of slaves, what they didn't tell you, that they captured them already on this soil, people. They was already on this soil in America, just so y'all know. So when you got somebody like O.J. Simpson that we was lied to our whole life, you've never heard about this Casanova killer. I know you haven't, because I haven't heard about it. Some people may have. And that's the person that they actually think did what they did to O.J. Simpson's ex-wife. It's the reason why the gloves didn't fit, because what they found out during the autopsies and things like that, that Nicole and the other guy that was that lost his life that day, they were tortured in a way. And guess what, y'all? They found several other women from that guy, the Casanova killer. Several other women. They found several others that lost their life in the same exact way. So when we sit up here and talk about things that young black men and us young black women go through, from the court systems to just the media to the things they push, if y'all ever think any of this is a coincidence, that the music you hear is not for a reason, that black people are in the ghetto for a reason, that Jim Crow and all of these things existed for a reason, if you think that it's equal opportunity and they don't push narratives and they won't lie to you, well, there you go. Because your whole life you was made to believe OJ did it, OJ didn't do it, when you should have been made to believe that it's no possible way he did it, actually, and they already knew this. You never seen no big story about the real killer of Nicole Simpson. You'll never hear about that because that's not something they want you to hear, but go look it up. You could go look it up right now. Go do your Googles, go do your research, go do everything you need to do, and then you come back and talk to me in the comment section. And it will show you that exactly what I am saying to you is true. The same way you know that Christopher Columbus did not discover America, but if you would have put that answer in as a kid in school, you would have failed your test. Facts. In school, they made us think the Pilgrims and the natives got along. No, they did get along until they were betrayed. They just glossed over that. Did y'all know that in schools they about to stop teaching that? Did y'all know that? That in schools they about to stop teaching that? Yeah, y'all. So check out the Casanova killer. Check out the real story on O.J. Simpson, and it goes to show you how far America will go to sully a black man's name, especially one they want to make seem guilty. The same things they did with Bill Cosby, the same exact things. They will railroad you. They ruined O.J. Simpson's life. ruined that man's life for something he did not do and they know he didn't do. A lot of people know OJ from this case. A lot of people forget about how good of an NFL player he was, how good he was at University of Southern California. People forget all of these things because when you think of OJ Simpson, that's what you think of, and that's what you never should be thinking of other men. Yeah. I know we dropping bombs today. I just wanted to give y'all some jewels, man. Shout out to my guy Craig Fex, that made me aware of these things because I didn't even know that. But I remember being a young guy going to my grandparents' house while this case was going on. Like I lived this in real time. I remember my dad going to my grandparents' house just to go chill with his parents and my aunts and everybody and watch this case religiously. My dad was very close to his parents, so I spent a lot of time at my grandparents' crib. And when this case was going on, y'all, I'm talking about it was all they watched. So y'all know what this is, man. Deem by any means. And I holla at y'all.